TIFU by oversleeping, causing my 3YO to go on an adventure. Let me start off by saying no matter what anyone says, you can't make me feel more horrible than I already do. I stayed up a bit too late last night and overslept till 9 a.m. My girlfriend had to go to college at 7 a.m. and since I don't start my new job till Monday, our son stays at home with me. Usually in the past when I was alone with our son during COVID peak times, I watched him, and if he woke up he would always wake me up by throwing his sippy cup at my face and asking me for something to drink. So I assumed now would be no different. We live in an apartment where all the doors are only secured by deadbolts and are low enough for a child to reach. We also have a 80-pound chocolate lab. When my son woke up this morning, he saw that our dog needed to potty because he stands by the door. I'm assuming this is his thought process because, well, I was asleep, so not sure entirely. Anyways, my son took it upon himself to let the dog out. So he did, and I'm sure now that he let our dog out with no leash. Dog took off to explore and my son was trying to get him back. I briefly woke up at 8 a.m. and saw my gal sent me some Facebook messages of memes. Looked at them and noticed my son was still sleeping in our bed. He does that sometimes in the middle of the night. So I rolled over and went back to sleep. When I awoke again at 9, I noticed he was no longer in bed, so I got up. When I got up, I had the feeling that something was just off. Didn't feel right. So I went to the living room to look for my son. He wasn't there. I started to walk to his room and past the stairs where the front door was wide open. Panic mode instantly engaged. I rushed to get clothes on and ran outside. I saw the maintenance man by the dumpster and asked him about a boy and a dog. He said he did see them, but that was like 20 minutes ago and he had assumed an adult was with him. Nope, I was asleep. Like an idiot. I started sprinting around the apartment complex and around the park area and pool, screaming both my son's name and dog. When I got to the street by our apartments, I saw a cop turning down the street. I approached his vehicle and he rolled down the window to ask if I was looking for a young boy. I replied yes, and he had said that a lady had had him in the neighborhood next over. Instant relief took over the fear and dread I had previously. To make a long story shorter by a bit, he had walked probably about a mile away to the next neighborhood and a lady picked him up when she saw a young boy crying walking around with a dog. My dog had stayed by my son's side the entire time. I was speechless. When I finally saw my son wrapped up in blankets because he was just in a pull-up, I broke down. I don't usually cry in front of people, but oh boy did I ever right then. My son now safe in my arms, I had to answer police questions and took my dog back home. My girlfriend wasn't pissed like I thought she would be, but more relieved he was found. I feel like worst father of the year and will definitely now be waking up at 6 a.m. to make sure everyone is accounted for before going on with the rest of the day. TL. Doctor. My son let my dog out while I was asleep and they went for a mile unsupervised walk with no pants on. He is home safe now. I feel like worst father of the year and will definitely now be waking up at 6 a.m. to make sure everyone is accounted for before going on with the rest of the day. Or maybe just get better locks or a latch higher up so he can't wander off whenever he feels like. Wanna know a secret? I know more parents with an "and then the kid just wasn't there" story than without one. Sometimes wandering or bolting off in public. A lot like yours, where the kid walked out the door for one reason or another. Somewhere they searched the house. Couldn't find the kid. Went out looking and finally came home to find them hiding or sleeping somewhere completely ridiculous. It happens. Get a baby gate for your room. Or wherever the kiddo sleeps so they're contained. Or you at least hear them pushing it down, climbing over. Grab some sticky contact alarms for windows and exterior doors. Toss up some knob covers or a chain lock. Kids fine. Dogs fine. GF didn't lose her mind at you. You'll probably have a visit from CPS within a few days. Don't freak too badly. Breathe. You've got this. And you aren't a horrible parent unless you don't fix the problem. Oh man. When my daughter was 3, she decided to go on a trip around the world because she wanted to see Venice. We were all home. Dad and 5-year-old brother were playing a video game in the living room. I was lying down on the sofa in the front room because I didn't feel well. Daughter was playing nicely and keeping herself entertained, going from her bedroom to the play area upstairs. She comes by me with her little rolling suitcase and announces she's going on a trip. I'm like, okay, have fun. But instead of going upstairs to play pretend, she actually leaves the house through the garage, which is right next to the upstairs door. Now we had a rule about not going past the driveway into the street. But in her mind she totally has permission. We live in a very safe neighborhood with little traffic. No through streets. But still, she gets about half a mile away and sits down on her suitcase, full of shoes and hair accessories, to rest a little. About that time, the local cop comes by on his daily patrol. Next thing I know, my daughter is skipping into the house saying, "Mommy, I'm back. And now you need to come talk to the policeman." I could have died. Right there. World's worst mother. Precocious little twerp had no idea why we were upset with her. She told me she was going on a trip around the world. She got to make friends with the nice policeman and ride in his car. Aw, kids. Trying to stay ahead of them can sure keep you on your toes. Be sure and check out the R Parenting subreddit. Lots of helpful advice and encouragement. Man. Talk about a roller coaster of emotions. I'm super glad he was safe and you got him back. And the dog. That doggo deserves some extra lovin's and treats. Go buy him that nice dog bed you've been putting off buying. You owe it to the pup for sticking by your little one. My son was about that same age when he went on an adventure after I went to work and Dad was home with him. Thank God he went outside and came back to wake Dad up. Who knows what kind of shenanigans he got into while unsupervised though. Go easy on yourself and just don't let it happen again. You could always put a baby gate at the bedroom door. Now the kid can't leave the bedroom while it's sleepy time. I had a shit ton of family in town and we all went to my place. Mom, aunt, cousins, my sisters, etc. loaded up in my SUV. As we arrived at my house, I had to run to the bathroom immediately, so as I jump out I yelled, "Get son's name." Quote, my 4-year-old. So many of them were all, "Got him." As I came out from doing my business, I look around and didn't see little man. I ask where he was and the horror and realization spread across every face in the house. We tear ass outside, screaming his name, and found him at the nearby apartments, just doing a water slide in his clothes with some other kids. It happens. And quiet. Independent explorer kids are so dangerous. Get some new locks. Thank your lucky stars. And cut yourself a little slack. When I was about 3, I snuck out around 6 a.m. one day. My thinking was that I knew there was a guy who walked a big fluffy dog and I wanted to pet the dog. The man let me pet the dog but walked me home. My dad changed the locks on the door after that so I couldn't run off again. Don't feel bad. Just learn from it and prevent it reoccurring in the future. I'm so glad your little one is okay. Try not to bear yourself up too much. We've all done things as parents that we regret and that scare the hell out of us when we think of what might have happened. A lock higher up on the door is a good idea, but something that your girlfriend could engage from the outside will limit your options. What about something that will make noise instead? Either when your son leaves your room or maybe if he opens the door to the house. Maybe some kind of contact sensor? You have a very good doggo and a kind neighbor. Forgive yourself. Be thankful the outcome was a good one. And figure out a way to keep it from happening again. Hugs. I'm so glad to hear the baby's alright. My heart sank when reading this. I know all too well that instant feeling of dread and despair. I was a first-time mom shopping in Walmart with my then almost 2 years old. He's 6 now. And my mom. I asked my ma to please watch my son while I went to the fitting room real quick. Well, I'm gone a little over 5 minutes, and as I'm walking back I knew instantly something was wrong by the look of terror on ma's face. She yelled. I was looking at sizes on shirts, but he was right next to me. I don't get how this happened. Immediately I take off like a mad woman, sprinting down every aisle screaming his name when a worker who had just clocked out sees me absolutely frantic, so she starts running with me. We're both bolting through aisles when I see another worker who says, "The manager has a little boy at customer service." Holy fuck, thank God, I think to myself. So I run even faster to the front of the store and see the most beautiful sight. I see my baby boy sitting up on the counter kicking his feet happy, smiling and taking a yellow smile face sticker from a manager. I stopped as soon as I locked eyes with them. My knees buckled and I fell to my knees and sobbed like a baby on the Walmart floor. I felt so many emotions at once. I felt immense guilt, happiness, and like I was gonna puke all in one. Now I know this could have been a very, very different story, and I'm so thankful it turned out okay in the end. Shit does happen, but it literally takes a second for a child to slip away and your life will never be the same. Of course you feel like a terrible parent. Let that be a lesson to forever do better. Heart exclamation. Good luck to you. Things happen and it's easy to not anticipate this stuff happening. You proved you care so much for the two by going through the effort to search and run around for them. And your breakdown says a lot about how much you wished it didn't happen. I'm very glad everyone ended up okay. I have a home automation system with, among other things, sensors on the doors and windows. I have it set up so that every time the door opens I hear a chime. I also get a voice notification on my 3 Google Home Minis as telling me which door opened, and a notification on my cell phone and tablet. Why no, I'm not paranoid. Seriously, I'm not. I was just mostly experimenting with the technology available. Technical details: Habitat elevation hub, dome siren and chime, generic Zigbee door sensors. I have also briefly lost a 3-year-old family members. Fortunately only for 5 minutes. My sister lost these same family members in a medium-sized mall for about an hour. They finally found them happily wandering at the far end of the mall from where they started. Is your dog named Carl? My boys have done this. You are not alone. We added sliding locks and put an alarm in. In some states you cannot make changes like that in apartments. So, this might be harder to just fix your locks. My son has done this. He has autism and it's known as eloping. Edit. Also, not to be rude, but stop saying probably and looking into. Get your ass into gear and get childproof locks on all your doors and windows. He's done it once and he now knows he has the ability to do so again. I don't know what kind of area you live in, but you got fucking lucky. One wrong person seeing him and deciding to take him. Maybe someone doesn't notice him as he's crossing the road and he gets hit, etc. Everyone makes mistake as a parent. But make sure this one doesn't happen again. Do better. I'm so happy everything ended well.
Baby's day out 3.
Can you take a picture of your door? I can't imagine one a 3-year-old could open. Get and install a hotel lock at the top of the door. $8 at Home Depot.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.